East of Belitung Island in Indonesia. There were 162 people on board and all are feared dead. The plane went missing a few hours ago between Indonesia and Singapore. Air traffic control lost contact with the AirAsia jet at 6:17 a.m. local time, 42 minutes after it took off. The Indonesian Transport Ministry says the pilot had requested an unusual flight path just before communications broke off. The ill-fated plane was an A320 Airbus. It's a two-engine short to medium-range airliner. The A320 was the first model in its range. It holds up to 179 passengers and a crew of 2 people. The jet has a range of 5,700 kilometres and its speed can reach 900 kilometres per hour. We'll be watching closely this AirAsia plane disaster and we'll bring you any updates as soon as we get them.
Information on this at the moment, but the Reuters news agency are saying that an AirAsia flight travelling from Indonesia's Surabaya to Singapore has lost contact with air traffic control. That's coming to us via the Reuters news agency, and they're quoting an Indonesian news channel. So Surabaya in Indonesia itself, that's where the flight began, and it was on its way to Singapore. It's an AirAsia flight and it has lost contact with air traffic control. That's the breaking news we've got at the moment. No more detail, but of course as soon as we do get any other information, we'll bring that to you here first at Sky News.
Hello everyone, I'm Aisha Sase. We have this breaking news. An AirAsia flight en route from the Indonesian city of Surabaya to Singapore is missing. An Indonesian transport official tells CNN flight 8501 lost contact with air traffic controllers early Sunday morning. The pilot reportedly requested an unusual route before the plane lost contact. The airline says a crisis center has been set up and search and rescue operations are underway. Now, there are reports as many as 162 people we're hearing are on board the Airbus 320. The aircraft is like the one you see here on your screens. Indonesian TV reports most are Indonesian, with 3 Koreans, 1 passenger from Singapore, 1 from the UK and 1 from Malaysia also on board. Now, AirAsia Indonesia issued a statement which reads, "At the present time, we unfortunately have no further information regarding the status of the passengers and crew members on board, but we will keep all parties informed as more information becomes available." We are staying on the story for you. Let's go now to CNN's Paula Hancock. She joins us now from Seoul. Paula, what more can you tell us? What are you hearing?
Well, Aisha, details are fairly scarce at this point. Obviously, AirAsia is desperately trying to find out what has happened to this flight. They haven't given us many details, as they're clearly unable to. All they can confirm is the fact that this flight from Surabaya in Indonesia to Singapore did lose contact with air traffic control at 7:24 a.m. local time. Now, that's about 4 hours ago. And according to some reports, it should have reached Singapore a couple of hours ago, but hasn't at this point. Now, we do know that there's a search and rescue operation in progress. We're hearing this from AirAsia themselves. They say that they're cooperating fully and trying to assist this rescue service, and that they will give more information just as soon as they can. Now, there are some reports out there that we can't confirm at this point, suggesting that the pilot had requested to descend because of turbulence, had requested an unusual route. Now, we don't know at this point whether or not that is correct. We're trying to confirm with Indonesian Transport Ministry officials at this point, but we are looking also into whether or not there was adverse weather in the area and whether or not that could have played a part in why this airline has gone missing. There has been an emergency call centre set up by AirAsia, and they say at this point they have no further information regarding the status of passengers and crew members on board. As you say, even the number of passengers on board at this point, there's conflicting reports. Reuters saying 155. You have another figure from another report. So we really are trying to pin down the details here, Aisha.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a story that is in motion. But Paula, what can you tell us about the airline itself, this AirAsia?
Well, this is a low-cost airline. It's a Malaysian company, but it really flies all across Asia. It's a very popular airline. Obviously, it's a budget airline. Many people wanting to fly them. They have, according to reports I'm seeing online, something like 100 destinations. So it's a fairly widespread route plan that AirAsia has, and as I say, they are fairly popular within the Asia clientele that want those budget flights. Now, we know from AirAsia itself, the flight was an Airbus 320-200, and as I say, it was due to land at about 3 hours ago in Singapore. Beyond that, we don't have many more details.